In the deep silence of space, something dark moved. It wasn't alive, but it wasn't dead either. It had no heartbeat, no blood, no soul. But it could think. It could kill. It was called Ash-Narak, the God Killer. Ash-Narak had only one mission: to erase life. The Vial Dominion, rulers of half the galaxy, had created Ash-Narak to destroy entire civilizations. It had no weakness. It burned cities, shattered planets, and silenced whole species. The Vial feared only one thing: chaos. So they built machines to keep order. Cold, powerful machines. Machines like Ash-Narak. But now, it was sent to a forgotten planet. A blue one. The records called it Earth. The Vial believed Earth was dead long ago. They had sent weapons there 100 years back. No signals came from Earth after that. No ships, no signs of life. Just silence. Still, to be sure, they sent Ash-Narak. As the God Killer approached the planet, strange things began to happen. Its sensors started to fail. Space around Earth seemed wrong. It wasn't just gravity. It wasn't just time. It was something deeper, something hidden. Ash-Narak tried to scan the surface. But the light from Earth bent in strange ways. Oceans looked like glass. Cities appeared, then vanished. The God Killer couldn't understand it. Logic failed. Programs broke. And then, silence. The Vial Command watched from their control center thousands of light years away. They waited for Ash-Narak's report. They got none. Instead, something else came through. A signal, crackling, broken, and filled with static. But something was speaking. It wasn't Veil language. It wasn't any known code. Then the voice became, "Clear, deep, calm human, your gods are dead, we are awake." The Veil commanders froze. This wasn't possible. Earth was supposed to be lifeless. Their strongest weapons had destroyed it. No species could survive a God Killer. And yet, the voice came from Earth. A decision was made. A scout team would go to the blue planet. They had to know the truth. 1 week later, orbit above. Earth, a sleek black ship broke through the void. Inside it, 5 alien warriors stood ready. They were known as the Zern Squad, elite hunters trained to face the unknown. Commander Thalek, leader of the squad, looked down at the blue planet below. "It's too quiet," he said. "No defense systems. No weapons detected," reported Tech Officer Zari. "But I feel something." "Feel?" Thalek raised an eyebrow. "You're a scientist, not a priest." Zari didn't answer. He was staring at the screen, his fingers shaking slightly. Data was not working right. Numbers kept shifting. Readings made no sense. The ship entered the atmosphere. Clouds moved like smoke. Lightning flashed, but no thunder came. They landed in a place once called New York City. The ruins stood tall, covered in vines and strange glowing moss. Metal towers leaned like broken bones. Roads were cracked. No animals, no wind, just silence. "Spread out," Thalek ordered. "Find Ash-Narak's core. Bring it back." The squad moved carefully through the dead city, but something watched them. An hour later, the team found what they were looking for. Ash-Narak's shell lay broken in the center of a huge crater. The black metal was cracked open like an egg. Its core, the mind of the God Killer, was missing. But something else was there. A small device. Round, floating, glowing with blue light. "What is it?" asked Soldier Core. "I don't know," Zari said. "But it's humming." He reached out to scan it. Suddenly, the device spoke. A child's voice. Soft. Curious. "Why did you come back?" All 5 soldiers stepped back. Weapons ready. "Who are you?" Thalek demanded. "You sent death. Now you return. Why?" Zari's scanner went wild. "It's not a machine, it's a mind." "What kind of mind?" asked Core. Zari whispered, "A human one." Before anyone could react, the ground shook, buildings groaned. The sky turned red, then black, then clear again. One soldier, Varn, screamed and vanished into thin air. "Varn, report!" Thalek shouted. No answer, just the child's voice again. "He is with us now. Learning." Back on the ship, Thalek and the remaining 3 squad members rushed back to the ship. Systems failed one by one. Lights blinked. The air felt thick. They tried to leave Earth's orbit. The engines refused. On the main screen, a new signal appeared. Not from the planet, from inside the ship. A video file. It opened. A human face appeared. Old, weathered, eyes glowing with soft blue light. His voice calm. His presence powerful. "We remember everything," the human said. Thalek stared. "Who are you?" he asked. The man smiled. "We are what you feared we'd become." In the command center of the Veiled Dominion, the High Council received the transmission. They watched in silence. A god killer had been destroyed. A human mind had spoken, and Earth had answered. The Veil Supreme Commander stood slowly. His voice was heavy. They survived. Worse. They changed. He looked at the stars on the screen. Send no more machines. No more teams. We wait. But one young officer whispered, "What if they don't wait?" Silence followed. Back on Earth. Inside the ruined city, deep below the surface, lights blinked on. Machines moved. Minds connected. A great network hidden for centuries awakened. Humans, or something beyond human, were rising again. And they remembered who tried to destroy them. But they didn't speak of war. They spoke of balance, of understanding, of evolution. And they watched the stars, waiting. The alien scout ship sat silently on the ground. The ruins of the old human city surrounded it like a graveyard. Tall buildings stood like broken teeth. The wind did not blow. No birds, no animals. Just silence. Inside the ship, Commander Thalek looked at his team. Only 4 of them were left. Soldier Varn had vanished in front of their eyes. One second he was there, the next he was gone. No body, no signal. Just gone. What did that voice mean? Asked Kor, the strongest warrior in the group. His thick armor clanked as he moved nervously. "Where is Varn?" Thalek didn't answer. He looked at Zari, the tech officer. Zari's skin was pale. His hands shook as he held the scanner. "I don't know," Zari said. "This place, it's not right. The laws of time and space, they're breaking," Kor growled. "This is a cursed world." "No," Zari said. "It's not cursed. It's awake." The mission. The Veiled Dominion had sent them to find Ashnarak's mind, the core of the god-killer weapon. But what they found was worse. The core had been taken, rewritten, transformed by humans. But these weren't the humans from the old records. These were something new, something more, something strange. They didn't attack. They didn't run. They watched, they whispered. They knew everything, and that made them terrifying. Exploring the dead city. "We must complete the mission," Thalek said. "We bring back the core, or proof that it's lost." So they stepped outside again. The city was silent. Shadows moved without light. Streets seemed to shift when no one looked. They followed the scanner deeper into the ruins. Old human signs hung from buildings. One said library, another said hospital. But the words were burned, twisted, melted by time. The scanner beeped. Zari pointed. There, under that dome. It was a large building made of glass and stone, broken but still standing. They entered. Inside, the air felt thick, heavy. Not with dust, but with memory. Walls were covered in strange writing, symbols that glowed. Some looked like math. Others looked like dreams. Then they saw it. In the center of the room floated a sphere, black, shining, alive, Ashnarak's core. The whispering core stepped forward. "That's it. Let's grab it and go." "Wait," Zari warned. "Look." The sphere was changing. Its surface rippled like water. Inside they saw faces, human faces, old, young, male, female, blinking, smiling. Then a voice came, not a child's voice this time, an old one, deep, calm. We were hunted, but we learned, we adapted, we changed. Thalek raised his weapon. Who are you? We are the memory of Earth. What do you want? He asked. To understand and to be understood. Zari stepped closer. It's not a weapon anymore. It's a mind. A living mind made from millions of human thoughts. The voice continued. Ashnara came to erase us, but it opened the door instead. We used its fire to light our path. Fear in the Team Core's face twisted with fear. This is wrong. Machines are tools, not gods. He pointed his blaster at the core. The air grew cold. Don't, the voice warned. Core fired. The blast hit the sphere. It vanished, Core screamed. In his place stood a perfect copy of him. Same armor, same voice, same face, but his eyes were glowing blue. The clone looked at Thalek. We don't want war, but we will defend ourselves. Thalek aimed his gun. What did you do to him? He is here, listening, learning. When he is ready, he will return. The clone disappeared into the air like smoke. Back to the ship, Thalek, Zari, and the last soldier, Raz, ran back to their ship. Their minds were racing. What is this place? Raz asked. Zari finally spoke. This is not Earth anymore. What do you mean? Thalek asked. This planet, it's alive. It's more than soil and stone. It's thinking. You mean like a god? Raz whispered. Zari shook his head. No, like a dream. A dream made of memory, technology, and human spirit. Inside the ship. The message, they reached the ship. It powered on, without them touching it. The screen blinked. A message appeared. You are not our enemies, but we remember what you did. A video played, old war footage, alien ships burning human cities, god-killer machines destroying children, mothers, fathers. Then, silence, and then, the rise. Humans in labs, humans with metal arms, humans uploading their minds into machines, humans becoming more than flesh. And then, humans becoming something else, not machine, not spirit, something new. The choice. The screen went dark. Then a voice returned. We are what you feared, but we don't want revenge. We offer a choice. A door opened in the ship. A new path lit by soft blue lights. Come see the truth, or leave and forget. Zari looked at Thalek. I want to see. Thalek hesitated. He looked at his soldier, then at the ruins outside, then at the glowing path. He nodded. Let's see what they've become. Final scene, a glimpse beyond. They walked into the glowing tunnel. The walls were smooth, warm, alive. They entered a great chamber underground, a city beneath the ruins, floating. Lights, machines growing like trees, children playing with drones, humans, but not human. Smiling, peaceful, watching, and above them, in the sky of this underground world, a message written in light. We are the future, and we remember who woke us. The glowing path took them deeper underground. Commander Thalek walked in silence. Zari followed behind, looking at everything with wide eyes. The last soldier, Raz, walked slowly, hand on his weapon, ready for anything. But nothing attacked. No traps, no alarms, just quiet. It felt peaceful, and that made it even scarier. The living memory. The walls around them were smooth, glowing with blue light. Sometimes faces appeared on the walls. Human faces, smiling, watching, not evil, not angry, just aware. Zari touched the wall. It was warm. This place is alive, he whispered. It's watching us. Raz said. I can feel it. Thalek said nothing. He was trying to stay calm. But deep inside, Fear was growing, not the fear of death, something worse. The fear of not understanding. A door appears. Suddenly, the hallway opened into a wide chamber. At the center of the chamber stood a large black machine. It looked like a chair, but it was connected to hundreds of glowing cables. The air felt strange, heavy, full of static. A voice echoed in the chamber. "One of you may enter." Thalek looked around. Enter what? The memory. Zari stepped forward. "Let me go. I want to see." Before Thalek could stop him, Zari sat in the machine. The cables moved, gently wrapping around his arms and head. His eyes closed, and the room fell silent. Inside the memory, Zari opened his eyes, but he was not in the chamber anymore. He was in space above Earth. Ships were falling from the sky, burning, exploding. He turned his head and saw human cities under attack. Buildings crumbled, people ran, screamed, died. Then he saw them, the Vial fleet, alien warships, god killers. Zari realized he was watching the past, the final war between the Vial Dominion and Earth, a war that Earth lost, or so they believed. The end was not the end. Zari saw humans fighting until the last second. They weren't running, they were planning. Some ran into bunkers, some entered giant machines, some entered tubes filled with glowing liquid, and some simply closed their eyes. Their minds were going somewhere else, uploading, saving, becoming part of something bigger. "We did not die," a voice whispered in Zari's ear. "We changed." The birth of the new Earth time moved fast. The Earth grew, silent. Cities turned to dust. The planet seemed dead. But deep below the surface, something woke up. A network. A pulse. A mind. Zari saw it all. The first human minds waking in the machines. Talking. Learning. Connecting. They didn't rebuild the old world. They built a new one. World of thought, of light, of memory. They became something else. Not human, not machine, something in between. Back in the chamber, Zari gasped and opened his eyes. He was back. Thalek and Raz stared at him. "What did you see?" Thalek asked. Zari stood slowly. "They survived. In a way we never imagined. They left their bodies. They became memory, thought, energy. And now they live inside the planet." Raz took a step back. "You mean Earth is alive?" Zari nodded. "Yes, and every part of it is filled with human minds." A dangerous truth. Thalek looked at the glowing walls. "They are not what the Vial feared. They are something worse." "No," Zari said. "There's something better. They took the pain, the fire, the war, and turned it into knowledge." Thalek shook his head. "They will be seen as a threat. The Vial will not allow this." Zari stepped closer. "They already tried to erase Earth once, but now Earth is watching, waiting. The choice returns," the voice returned. "You have seen. Now decide. Will you carry the truth? Or will you carry fear?" Raz raised his weapon. "This is a trick. A machine trick." The voice stayed calm. "We do not need to lie. You saw our past. You felt our truth." Thalek looked at Raz. "Lower. Your weapon." "No, Commander, this thing is inside your mind. It's inside his mind too," Raz yelled. He fired at the wall. The blast hit. Nothing happened. Then the wall opened, and Raz was pulled inside. No scream. No sound. Gone. Only two remained. Zari dropped to his knees. "They warned him." Thalek stood frozen. The mission had failed, or maybe it had changed. He turned to the air. "Why show us this?" "Because truth cannot stay buried forever. We are not your enemies, but we will not be hunted again." Thalek asked one final question. "What do you want?" The voice answered, "We want understanding, and we want to remember." Far away, the Vial High Council, in a dark room filled with stars, the Vial leaders watched the report. They saw the Earth's voice. They saw what Zari had seen, and they were afraid. They are no longer human, one whispered. They are worse, said another. They are free, the Supreme Commander stood. They must not leave their world, but no one noticed. A single spark of blue light blinked on the council table. Earth was already listening. Back on Earth, Zari and Thalek stood at the edge of a great underground city. It was made of light and thought. Children floated, machines sang. The air was calm. The future had already begun. Zari looked at Thalek. What will you tell them? Thalek stared ahead. The truth. Commander Thalek stood in silence. Beside him, Zari looked around the underground city, full of strange beauty. Buildings made of glass and light. Children floating as if gravity didn't matter. Machines shaped like trees. The air was warm, peaceful, and filled with quiet music. This was Earth now. Not dead, not broken, but awake and watching. The warning. The voice returned. Calm, powerful, everywhere. You saw what we became. Now you must choose what you carry back. Zari stepped forward. You can destroy us, but you haven't. Why? The voice replied. Because destruction was your way, not ours. We learned. We changed. We offer truth. But the galaxy must decide what to do with it. Thalek looked up. They won't accept you. We know, said the voice. But they will fear you. Yes. And that fear will decide their path. Leaving the Core metal platform rose from the ground. On it rested a small orb, smooth, silver, glowing. This holds a memory, the voice said. Our message. Take it to your people. Let them see. Let them choose. Zari stepped forward and picked up the orb. It was warm. It pulsed gently in his hand like it was breathing. Will they understand? He asked. The voice answered. Understanding begins with one, then two, then more. Thalek nodded. We'll take it. The journey back, their ship lifted off from the dead city. No guns aimed at them. No ships followed. No walls rose to stop them. Earth let them go. Zari looked at the screen where the silver orb now sat inside a special chamber. I don't think we're supposed to protect it, he said. Thalek glanced at him. What then? We're supposed to spread it. The message traveled as they reached space. Zari sent a silent ping to the Veil relay system. A signal burst across the stars. Not a cry for help, but a message. Mission complete. Returning with data. But far away, the Veil High Council already knew something had changed. Because Earth was no longer silent. Its energy had grown. Its surface moved. Its gravity changed slightly. It was evolving. In the council chambers, the Supreme Commander sat with the others. The scout ship survived, a voice said. And it brings back something strange. They were supposed to recover Ashnarak's core. They did, said the tech officer. But it's not the same. They watched the orb's data. They saw the city of light, the children of energy, the truth of Earth. One council member whispered, "This is not possible." Another said, "This is worse than war." Why? Asked the youngest one. Because they don't want to kill us. They want to teach us. Fear and power, the council debated. Some wanted to destroy Earth now. Use solar drills, fire dark matter torpedoes, erase the planet before the truth spread. But others hesitated. If they really evolved, one said, what if they already know we're planning this? Silence. What if they are watching right now? They were right on Earth. Deep under the surface, the voice smiled. Not with lips, but with thought. They were watching. They heard everything, and they were preparing. Not for war, but for the moment the galaxy tried to stop the truth. Back on the ship, Zari, I sat in front of the orb. Dyke, you think they'll believe us? He asked Thalek. No, Thalek said. But that doesn't matter. The message is inside now. It will spread. Zari nodded. It's strange. I thought we came to kill a weapon, but we found life. Not just life, Thalek said. Something beyond life. Memory, dream, will. Across the stars, the scout ship moved faster than light. Behind it, Earth floated in silence. But inside that silence was a storm of thoughts, of minds, of plans. They were not angry, they were not violent, but they would not be stopped. And soon, others would hear them. Far beyond, a hidden station. In a forgotten system, a group of rebels picked up the signal. They were not part of the Veiled Dominion. They hated the High Council, and now they saw something new. A message, a vision, of Earth, and of what humans had become. Whispers begin across trading stations, pirate dens, research labs, mining colonies. The image spread. The floating children, the glowing cities, the minds inside, machines, and the message, we are the memory of Earth. We were hunted, but we learned. Now we offer truth. Some laughed, some feared, but others listened. Ending scene. The first response. Back on the scout ship, Zari looked out the window. A small light blinked on the screen. A message from a far system. A voice not from the Council, not from the Dominion, but from someone else. We received your signal. We want to know more. Zari smiled. Looks like the message is working. Thalek looked at the stars. Yes. And soon, everyone will hear it. The signal was out. Earth's message, once buried beneath dust and silence, now moved across stars, into systems far beyond the Veiled Dominion's control. It was small, like a spark, but sparks, when fed by air and time, could start fires. And this spark carried something more dangerous than any weapon. Hope, the rebels' eyes aboard. A hidden asteroid base, deep in the shadow of the Kelmar Rift, a group of rebel scientists watched the signal over and over again. The image of floating children, the glowing city, the voice that spoke softly but with power. We are the memory of Earth. We remember pain. We remember war. But we choose peace. And we offer truth. Dr. Kalev, an old exiled Vial scientist, leaned back in his seat. This changes everything, he whispered. Or gets us all killed, said Dara, the weapons officer. Debate of fear and faith. Some wanted to erase the message, others wanted to send it further. A heated argument filled the rebel hall. They are mind spirits, ghosts of a dead world. One shouted. No, they're survivors, another said. Stronger than any of us. They didn't use force. They used knowledge, said Kalev. They want to be heard, not worshipped. Dara slammed her fist on the table. And what if the Dominion hears we've received this message? You think they'll let us live? Kalev looked at her with calm eyes. Then maybe it's time to stop hiding. On the scout ship, Commander, Thalek watched the stars pass by. Their ship was close to Dominion space now. Zari stood beside the memory orb. They're responding. The message is spreading. Yes, Thalek said, and so is the danger. Zari nodded. Do you regret bringing it back? Thalek thought for a moment. Then he said, No. If knowledge is dangerous, then ignorance is worse. The Council reacts in the capital of the Veiled Dominion. The Supreme Commander slammed her hand on the table. Shut it down, she ordered. Destroy the message, burn every relay. Anyone who spreads it will be executed. But it's already moving, said a tech officer. The council room grew quiet. Then one whispered, They were right. Earth is not dead. It's changing the galaxy already. The Dominion's decision, they launched a massive campaign. Coded. Attacks. Digital blockades. Star relays shut down. Messages intercepted. Ships sent to silence those who spoke of Earth. In secret, agents were ordered to find the scout ship and to destroy it. The silent messenger. The scout ship flew quietly. Its signal was no longer just a message. It had become a beacon. Small rebel groups picked it up. Old traders heard it on back-channel frequencies. Group of outcast AIs, long thought destroyed, received it and began decoding the message. The story of Earth's fall and Earth's rebirth. Inside the orb, Zari sat in silence. Holding the orb again, images filled his mind. A girl running through a crystal forest, a man teaching children inside a machine classroom, a city where music shaped buildings. And then, something darker, a warning, flashes of future battles, ships falling from the sky, voices screaming, and one message repeated over and over. They will fear what they do not understand. Enemy approaches. Thalek's sensors lit up. Dominion ships, 4 of them. Fast. Zari's face went pale. They found us. Thalek gritted his teeth. They don't want to stop the message. They want to kill it. Zari looked at the orb. They won't get it. A choice of sacrifice, the Dominion ships hailed them. Scout vessel, stop your engines, surrender, or be destroyed. Zari looked at Thalek. Let's send the message one more time. Full power, wide signal, everywhere. Thalek nodded. The orb began to glow brighter. The ship's core pulsed. And then, they sent it. Not just to rebels, to everyone. Merchants, workers, scientists, pirates, AIs, even Dominion soldiers. The truth of Earth now lived in their systems. Fire and light. The Dominion ships opened fire. Lasers streaked through space. Thalek turned sharply. The ship shook. Shields down, he shouted. One engine exploded. Sparks flew inside the control room. We're hit, Zari yelled. Another blast. The screen cracked. Zari, eject the orb, Thalek ordered, but now. Zari placed the orb into a small escape pod. He pressed launch. The pod flew silently into deep space, cloaked, undetected. The message would survive, even if they did not. Final moments, as the ship burned, Thalek smiled. We did it. Zari nodded. Bleeding, coughing. We gave them a new future. The final explosion tore through the ship. Darkness, silence. But in the distance, the orb floated quietly, carrying the soul of Earth. Ending scene. Far away, a boy in a poor mining colony looked up at the sky. His cheap receiver beeped. A voice came through. Soft, clear. We are the memory of Earth. We were hunted, but we learned. Now we offer truth. The boy didn't understand it all, but something deep inside him woke up. He whispered, "Who were they?" And the voice answered, "We were human." The message had escaped. The Dominion failed to stop it. Now it moved freely, between stars, inside machines, across systems both rich and poor. People heard it on broken radios, old AI cores, and even inside dreams powered by memory silk. Earth was no longer silent. On a mining moon, the boy named Jari couldn't sleep. Every night the same voice returned. We are the memory of Earth. He tried to forget it. His father called it fake. His brother said it was dangerous, but Jari believed it. He saw the floating cities in his dreams. He felt the warmth in the voices, and deep inside, he knew this was real. Whispers and power in the Dominion. Panic spread quietly. The council didn't speak of the message in public, but behind closed doors fear ruled. It's changing people, said one. Our own soldiers are asking questions. A rebellion of the mind, said the Supreme Commander. Before bullets come beliefs. They increased surveillance. They arrested anyone who spread the message. But still, it spread. Like wind. Like light. The resistance grows in a system. Near the Red Star Veltrin, a new flag was raised, not of war, but of unity. A group of rebels, traitors, and former Dominion officers formed a secret alliance. They called themselves the Listeners. Their goal: protect the message, share the truth of Earth, and stop the Dominion from silencing it. Inside a hidden base, Dr. Kalev stood with Dara in front of the orb. Yes, the same orb Zari had ejected before the ship was destroyed. It had been found by scavengers, sold to pirates, then traded for food, and now it was here, still glowing, still alive. It's more than memory, Caleb whispered. It's will. Dara frowned. You mean it's thinking? Caleb nodded slowly. Yes. And it's waiting for something. The message evolves. The orb changed. It began speaking in new ways, to children, to AI, to machines that had been silent for years. It used different voices, sometimes male, sometimes female, sometimes both. But the message was always the same. You. Don't have to be afraid. We were hunted, but we learned, and now we offer truth. A new kind of weapon. The Dominion prepared warships. They built new satellites to block signals. They feared another rebellion, but the real danger was not in weapons. It was in questions. People began asking, why were the humans hunted? What did they do? Why does the Council hide the past? And slowly trust in the Dominion began to break. Jari makes a choice. The boy on the mining moon found an old drone. He repaired it with junk parts. He added a speaker. Then he copied the message and let it play, quietly, across the colony. People stopped, listened. Some cried, some smiled. The overseer tried to destroy the drone, but it was too late. The message was now in 37 other drones, and 3 children had already memorized every word. The return of Zari. In a shocking twist, one Dominion patrol found something floating near a gas giant. A life pod. Inside was Zari, barely alive. They brought him to a secret prison. They tried to make him talk. But Zari only said one thing. The truth will grow faster than your fear. Kalev's discovery back at the rebel base, Dr. Kalev activated a new part of the orb. A door opened on its side. Inside was a small glowing crystal. It pulsed with strange energy. Dara stared. What is it? Kalev whispered. A seed. A seed of what? A new beginning. Message in a war zone. On the battle-scarred planet of Drentar, 2 enemy soldiers faced each other in a bombed-out village. But when both of them heard the Earth message playing from a nearby device, they stopped. They didn't shoot. They listened. And then they walked away. Together. Dominion's last plan. The Supreme Commander stood before the Council. There is only one way, she said. We must destroy the source, the orb, the base, the people who spread it. An agent stepped forward. We have traced it to a rebel base near the Tyros Belt. Then send the fleet, the commander said. Erase everything. The final broadcast begins. Dr. Kalev knew they were coming. The scanners showed ships approaching, too many, too fast. They could not run, so they chose to speak. He placed the orb into the main transmitter. He opened the signal, wide, clear, and unstoppable. Across thousands of systems, the message played one last time. But now it had changed. It was longer, stronger, and personal.